Aloha all, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about how the heck did I get to Maui, Hawaii? How on earth did that even happen? It's crazy. Crazy. Um, well, it's always tricky to figure out where to start when you tell stories like this. Long story short, I grew up in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Cleveland Heights to be exact, and I got a master's in business and I ended up launching my own transportation business right out of college. I did that for 8 years and it kind of got really old. And then also, I was actually hit by a car. I was getting out of the van to approach my customers who did not pay their fare. And somewhere along the line, I guess what happened is what I'm told is what happened is that I accepted their pizza as like a partial payment. Like, all right, I'll let this slide. And then when I went back around the van to get back in, my door was open. So I got out, like went around to approach them so quick, and I was hit by a car coming around trying to pass me because my van was in the road. So after that, I was in the hospital 3 days. My jaw was wired shut. Metal rods in my leg. Took a 1 month of rehab. But I was already like done with that business. Like I was already like it was old. Like I was already focused on bringing in a better world. I had gone through these transformational experiences. I worked closely with a shaman woman, and we like were focused on creating the world we wish to see it, and in every single way. So there's a lot of deep work that goes along with that. There's a lot of cleansing and clearing and shedding of your old skins, clearing out a lot of ancestral karma, and just so much of intentions and visualization and speaking into existence the world we wish to see. Decreeing is my specialty, actually. Long story short, because I've already gone on long just with that, is I let go of the business. I walked away from that life. I was home with my family for about 3 months, October, November, December, and it allowed me to really reconnect with my family. It was really great, and well overdue because it was 8 years later. And long story short, I met a woman online during this time because I was focused on bringing in a better world. I was on social media, building all these Facebook groups, and TheSource. Well, it wasn't even TheSource yet. It was like pre TheSource, but it was like, how could we create a project to bring in paradise on earth? And so I was very vocal, and I was finding truth, sharing truth, finding truth, sharing truth, finding truth, sharing truth, constantly, all day, every day, building like this network of 10,000 or more Facebook groups of light workers, of love and truth and spirituality and manifestation and everything, esoteric, religious text, whatever, all the things. And she saw my content about how to free yourself from the matrix, and we connected with chat there, and we really bonded over a series of weeks to the point where she said, you should come out to California. So I was in Cleveland, Ohio, and I just packed up my van and I just went Route 66 across the country. It took about 13 days maybe to get out there. I really took my time and met up with people along the way, and I even drove people out there that wanted to hitch a ride. And it was an amazing journey. I highly recommend doing a Route 66 ride. So long story short, I took Route 66. I got out to Santa Monica, West LA, met up with her, and we spent a good amount of time together. It might have been a month or more. I don't exactly remember. But we really did connect, and we really did share something. And went to Marianne Williamson with her, and went to her temple, like really like future temple, like Jewish thing. Like it was totally different from what I experienced growing up, and we shared a life there for a little while there. I didn't have a place to stay. I had a van, and I would sleep in the van, and I'd live in LA, and she wanted me to get a job. I had to like get new clothing to fit in LA. I was focused on bringing in a better world, and she had her own business already, so she was full on with that. We would connect and we'd hang out and all that, and we'd go out and share meals and so on and so forth. And I was still doing my thing, and I soon enough got a job or 2 jobs in a row. I was living in the van. I found a place to live in LA at like a monk community house for a low rent. It didn't really grow that much, but I at a certain point there, I let go of the job. I had just enough money again, like $1,000 to just retire again. So I found a place in West LA to park the van and wake up in the morning and go and get on the internet. I got like coffee at this place, and the guy would treat me with food, and just loved that I was there, and just sat on my computer and worked on creating the project and working to bring in a better world and sharing truth and so on and so forth. And did that for a while, and I'm meeting some change makers, light workers. Actually at Marianne Williamson, I met somebody there that we shared resonance, and I jumped on tour with a shaman, medicine man, and this community of medicine people where we did medicine wheel gatherings, water wheels and medicine wheel gatherings, and we traveled. We did the I forget the name of it, the Uniting of the Tribes prophetic gathering. We did medicine wheels there. We did it at all sorts of different festivals around LA and the greater region, over to Arizona, traveling, and then got back to LA after one of those, and ended up being 3 of us that were getting together to form the project, the one project left to complete Paradise on Earth, and we were brainstorming the ideas of what we would call it, and it ended up being, our ideas came together, and it was Source, Network, and Foundation. And soon after that, one of the characters in the story moved on and didn't come forward with us on the journey, but then we found another player in this, and the 3 of us began to ground this mission, the Source Network, Foundation. And we traveled together for a while there, and went up and down the coast to different events and festivals, and really started to form the project. So many layers to this journey, and later on, the 3 of us who worked to produce the One Love Experience Festival in Ventura, Ojai, California, and we did that for a few years, and just continue on. And at that festival, after I spoke about how to bring back the village as a part of One Global Village, is where I met another change maker who a group of us came together, and we got on a van or a bus, like a bus tour, and we did permaculture and a village bus tour, permaculture village bus tour. We traveled up and down California and the coast for a month, visiting permaculture centers and different communities, eco-communities, and focused on bringing back the village as well as permaculture, getting on the land and more in balance with nature and so on and so forth. And we did that for that month, and that was really awesome. But this just continued up and down the coast to a point where I landed for a while in Ventura, California, at a place to stay, and I helped with some projects there, and watched the gentleman's daughter there while we also worked on the projects, and that went for a while. And then I saw my fellow changemakers meeting up in Oregon, and the whole focus was there was the Oregon eclipse. The eclipse was happening, and that was a great place to see it. And there was the Oregon Country Fair, and there was the July 4th, and all these festivals aligning. So to the point where I decided to head up there, and went up there, up the coast, and up to Oregon. And Triangle Lake was this place, and we got on the land. It was an old conference center property, a ton of acreage, and say 10, 15 of us gathered together over a series of months. 10, 15 people at a time, continually would gather there, and we focused on bringing in a better world. And one project left as a project ended up being called Earth Nation, and we formed our own currency, and it really had a lot of momentum to it. Amazing change makers gathered, and we really did form like a corporation for bringing forth a better world, but more like a micronation, in which that was headquarters or headquarters. But then around the world, we had all these change makers, and we all had our currency, and we would pull in different properties and different businesses and different assets into the fold, and we'd issue currency out to everybody, digital currency, who would put in or invest their energies, their knowledge, skills, abilities, resources, land, and so on and so forth into the project. So we did that for a while there, and at a certain point there, though, it wasn't resonating anymore, and I moved on. I hopped in an RV with a couple change makers that were heading back down the coast, and continually I would just come back to visit my partner in Ojai, California, and we would ground in for a little while, and I'd keep working on changing the world. And just every time I go on these different jaunts, I'd come back there. And there, for a while there, I lived in Ojai, California, and stayed at a woman's house there where I helped her with just everything. Like, she was an older woman, so she needed help with grocery shopping and doing medications, and helping a little bit with cleaning, and a little bit with walking the dog, feeding dog and cat, and anything, really anything and everything, just like filled in different roles to help her out. So I lived there for like a year or two in Ojai, California, and then all these different tours and jaunts out for different events and all that would just go out and come back to Ojai for a while there. And then I went up to Oregon, came back down, and Ojai again, and there was a fire in Ojai, and that was crazy. And my partner and I, we went on a tour up the coast, and we put out a big message about like fundraising for the fire victims in Ojai, and we did this really cool blog form tour up the coast for a while there until that came to an end there. And at that point, it was like, what now? And there was a point where I was at Triangle Lake with the changemakers, and one of our fellow changemakers was like trying to figure out how to I think maintain citizenship in America so that she can continue to see her son. And there was a point there where one of our fellow changemakers said, well, you could just get sovereign citizenship. So he said, you go to Kauai, sit down in a coffee shop with a gentleman, and you get sovereign citizenship. You get your driver's license, passports, all the things. So we were like, all of us there, or a bunch of us, were like, let's all go to Kauai and let's all do this. And so when it was time after this tour up the coast, it was like, where do I go now? Keep going up and down the coast? Or is it finally time? I had seen a number of change makers who were really dialed in, and they had already been to Maui and to Hawaii. And I thought, that's the next place, that's the next place, that's the next place. to the point where this tour came to an end, and I just hopped on a flight. One of our guys was already at this community in Maui, and I just flew there, and they picked me up and brought me to the community, and I just grounded in there and stayed there 6 months on that land and worked trade and so on and so forth, and just grounded in to the point where that's how I got to Maui. That's the new home, and it's been the home for a number of years now, since around like 2018, I think, so 6-7 years now maybe. And I just continue to grow from there. Just got a car and good work and local produce. Well, before that even, or that and then the Uber for a while there, and then the local produce back and forth in the same time, even did both. And I've continued to grow, got an apartment, started paying rent, started doing a CBD business along with that, and continued, and now I live in a really great place. My partner's come over and joined me in Maui, and have the job and the home base, and we're part of Matt's group, Mankind Project here, and it's super grounded, simple living. And now I'm doing a YouTube channel. So this is what it is. This video went on a little bit long, but one of my goals was to do a horizontal filming, and then another goal is just to keep doing videos. And this is a topic that I wanted to offer today, and I totally appreciate you guys tuning in. Check in with me in the comments. I'd love to connect with all of you. Tell me what you think about my story of how this all happened. And if you have questions, let me know. I want to hear your journey, your story. Love you all. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Aloha.